Welcome to our new show here on EduQuest called Edugogo, the podcast where we shed some more light on the interesting campaigns that go on Edugogo and that we pick for our partner page. And today I'm with Ravi Singh, and his project is called Schoolarship. So welcome to the program, and thanks for taking the time.
Thank you for having me. Much appreciated.
Okay, so in general, how would you explain Schoolarship, the idea, perhaps in 1-2 sentences?
Basically, Schoolarship, what we're looking to try to do is lower the amount of students with debt in Canada initially and then reaching into the U.S. after. From there, essentially, we're hoping sky's the limit. So the major thing that we've seen in Ontario specifically is that tuition fees are increasing quite rapidly and students are graduating with $26,000 of debt and upwards. So is there a way that we can help them, and how can we help them as quick as possible?
Okay, so yeah, I think it's a problem that's really surfacing now, and all the big publications write about it. New York Times about, of course, the problems in the US and over here in Europe with a economic crisis, and then of course so student debt really one of the hot topics. And why did you choose to tackle this, I think, very difficult problem in education?
I think as a student, I can definitely relate to the situations that a lot of other students are in right now. And when you're coming out of school and trying to get a job and get started, student debt is something that can impact, I guess, your lifestyle and your structure of your life. So how can we help these students not only enjoy school while they're in it, but also once they've graduated, how can we make life a little bit easier for them so they're able to get started even faster? So it connected to me on a personal level, and it's something that I've always had a passion about, and it seems like no better time than to get something started than now.
Great. So what is Schoolarship about? How will it work that you help students to lower their debt?
So essentially what we're looking to do, we're looking to start a contest that students will be able to participate in. What it is that we're going to use sponsored content, and students will be able to engage with the content. And when they're asked questions about the content, if they're able to answer correctly, they'll earn a point. And from there, the students with the most amount of points are the ones that will win the scholarships and the education grants that we plan to give away. Mm-hmm. What we've noticed with a lot of bursaries and scholarships is that only certain students are able to qualify for them depending on what program you're in, what your major is, etc. So we were looking for a way that we could impact as many students as possible, and also taking down these barriers. So you could be studying biology, or you could be studying business or marketing or engineering, and each and every student is eligible for this education grant. And the idea is to give away 200 education grants within the first year, valued at $5,000 maximum. Mm-hmm. So again, the pure volume is something that we're trying to focus on. How can we help as many students as possible?
And how do I have to imagine this? So you said those scholarships are sponsored, so I guess by big companies who then want to get their message across. And what platform are you planning to use for the contests?
So it would be an online contest. Initially, we're looking at starting it over Facebook. What we're planning on doing, again, is the revenues that are raised from the sponsors, that's what we're looking to turn around and give back to students. So essentially what we're taking in is what we're planning to give back immediately. It's probably it's an interesting concept in itself, considering that it is larger corporations or even smaller corporations that we will be focusing on. But the idea is helping students basically with the revenue that we're pulling in from these corporations. Mm-hmm.
And of course, the benefit for the student is clear. If he wins, he gets a scholarship. What's the benefit on the other side for the companies who want to participate?
Well, the benefit for these companies is that they're going to be building a relationship with these individuals that are viewing their content at an earlier stage. It's a bit more organic in the sense that it's not forced upon the students. They're kind of engaging with it for a reason. Mm-hmm. And it's more or less a win-win situation for both, because they're able to spread their content and their messaging to this population, the student population, obviously. And students are benefiting from it by receiving education grants that will help pay their tuition.
Okay. And those contests, how do we have to imagine them? So, as you said, the students will get tasks, how to interact with content. So, Do you have an idea or a blueprint how this might look like?
Absolutely. So these companies or sponsors are able to upload, let's say, like a 15-second commercial or maybe an online piece of ad or content that they have.
Mm-hmm.
The students are spending roughly about 15 to 25 seconds with it, and then after that they're asked a question about the content that they just viewed. And once they answer the question, they're able to earn points. So essentially, the more content that you go through and the more points that you're able to accumulate over the set amount of time, you will be then entered into the contest, and the individuals with the most amount of points are the ones that win the education grants at the end.
So the idea is really to get back from the notion that, if a pre-roll ad is playing in a video, nobody's watching, but that you catch again the attention of the people who watch the ads and really
Exactly.
listen. Okay.
Yes, and it's a bit more targeted, so you know that they are actually engaging with it, so there is definite benefit there for the sponsors themselves, and the obvious inherent benefit to the students that we want to help.
Great. And I saw on your website, so you're a small team of 3, so basically you are developing this in-house, no outsourcing needed.
Correct. I do have contacts that are versed in online development, so that definitely helps. And I've got a bit of a background in online myself, so understanding that and knowing the platform that we're working with, it makes us a little bit more knowledgeable and able to execute things that we need to do.
And at which stage are you currently in the process of building Schoolarship?
So currently, we've got the essential blueprint of what we need to do and how we need to execute it. So I've spoken to different media partners and different production partners that are able to help us develop the application once we have the funding ready for it. So right now, what we're looking to do is just generate roughly from Indiegogo $20,000 worth of donations to help build the actual application and model itself, so that we're able to start uploading sponsors to it after. So we're still currently in the production stages. It's just a matter of crossing over this barrier that we're able to then begin the further development of the application.
Great. And do you have initial feedback from both sides, students or companies that are already interested in participating?
Absolutely. I guess students definitely will be interested in receiving education grants, or even being eligible for a different pot or market of education grants, which we're looking to do. I think we've received lots of favorable feedback on that. And even when we've spoken to potential sponsors and individuals and companies that are interested in participating, the feedback has always been great. I mean, the concept themselves is something that they really fall in love with, and the fact that we're looking to give back to the student population, and we're looking to do something really positive for them. And I guess secondary, they also get to engage in this market or demographic that they might not necessarily reach with traditional means of media.
Mm-hmm. And so after you hopefully raised the money,
yes.
When will you start with this Schoolarship, so the first annual contest?
Well, we're looking to start the first annual contest hopefully by next September. It'll allow us to recruit sponsors and bring them on board, and also the development of the application would be key and critical to that. So the campaign is over, the Indiegogo campaign, I believe, ends mid-September. So assuming that we're able to raise the $20,000 and proceed forward, we're hoping that we should be able to at least test the application early next year, and then launch the full campaign for fall of 2013.
And the contest will then run roughly 1-2 months, or how do I?
Right now, we're thinking that it would run for roughly between 4 to 6 months. What this does, it allows the sponsors to change their messaging whenever they would like, and just test different material if they want to. It also stays relevant and topical to the student community while they're in school, allowing them to obviously apply for these grants after the fact.
So the first grants would then be early 2014.
Correct.
Right?
That's when they'll be able to be used. Yes.
Great. So anything we missed, or?
No, I think we've captured basically the nutshell of the concept and the contest itself and what we're looking to do. Just really excited to hopefully get it started and get it launched.
Absolutely. So, as Ravi said, they're trying to raise $20,000. And if you're on YouTube, you will see probably here a banner where you can click that will lead you directly to the campaign if you want to participate. And one thing we didn't talk about: what are the perks that people get if they put money in your project?
So right now, we've started off with perks of allowing them to name the contest themselves. At a higher level, we're naming a grant for them in the first year of the Schoolarship contest. Mm-hmm. So let's say if John Smith applies, it would be the John Smith grant if he's donated the appropriate amount for it. Mm-hmm. Paul Ravoche has also been an illustrator that's been helping us with some of the cards that you might have saw on the actual Indiegogo video. Mm-hmm. So at a different threshold, we will get Paul to make an illustration of the individual themselves, so they can just send us a picture and Paul would draw it, and then we can mail that out to the individual. And the highest level is that you basically get the illustration, the education grant named after yourself, and we'd like to bring you into Toronto for the initial launch party.
Sounds
in
great.
2013.
In 2013.
Yes.
So mark your calendar, and well, Ravi, thank you so much, and all the best for the campaign. Of course, we will also try to do our best to promote you, and as soon as you have updates, keep us in the loop, and we'll tweet it, Facebook it, whatever it takes.
Much appreciated. Thank you, Kay.
Thank you.